So thank you so much, you guys, for understanding. Thank you for being here with me. So Capricorn, now this week from Lay Vampire, you pulled the past to prison, bitterness, grudge, and refusal to let go. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pull complacency, which, worries me a little bit here. Basically, between the two, the past is holding you a prisoner and you're being complacent with it. So it's a little bit rough. So now with the past to prison, the blessing says, you now have a chance to free yourself from the sadness and misery of another and to set a wonderful example of how to live freely without bitterness and regret. And then working with this card talks about, needing to find those who have suffered and who have moved on, because they may have something that they can teach you about that. But, beyond having past resentments put on you by other people with complacency, it's basically your own past that's holding you a prisoner here. But it may have to do directly with a person, though, too. Now, with complacency, the inspiration says that this is a warning not to give up. Beware of coasting along in a situation that is not what you really want. You will never be fulfilled by the unmet dreams of others, which, is what stuck out to me. The personal question says, how can I redefine my dreams? How can I stop procrastinating? The key ideas are finding self-nourishment, leaving dreams unrealized, feeling depleted, time for deep rest, lack of motivation, and holding back. So again, for some of you, the past is holding you back from doing what you truly want to do, but you're being complacent in the situation, which is not good. All right, here we go, Cap. Here is the energy coming through. Yeah, man, the Five of Cups. So now, beyond the emotional pain and the emotional suffering here, this may be feeling like you received less than what you had expected or what you felt like you deserved. And emotionally, it's affecting you. Now, for some of you, it could just simply be you dealing with the hurt emotions. But again, with the Five of Cups, right? Not all is lost. Those two cups are still there. It's just being able to build off of those and stop looking at what has been gone, what has been lost. And in the past, the Chariot, Cancer, maybe for some of you. Now, looking at the Chariot, though, and looking at the Five of Cups, the two of them basically are saying that you moved quickly into a situation where things didn't work out well. The Chariot is one of those things where the victory comes forward when you start to get control over where you're headed. Now, for some of you, it could literally mean travel, but beyond that, it's about willpower and self-control. If you're being pulled in two different directions, you can't go in the spot that you're needing to go. It's like you're moving quickly nowhere. But again, to me, it's like going quickly into a situation and then, ending up hurt, or feeling bad about moving quickly into a situation, though, too. In the present, you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is good. I would want to move quickly into that too. When you're looking at the Ace of Pentacles, again, new beginning, but it's realistic, it's long lasting. The problem is if you're too focused on what has been lost, it's going to be hard for you to build on what you still have, especially with that Ace of Pentacles being there. It's still good. It's still there. It's just how do you make the most of that if you're still dealing with, the emotional pain of moving too quickly into something and then, not receiving what you had expected. Very nice, very nice. So future conditions, you have clarity. Now, look at the aces. It's there. There is a new beginning there for you. It's just a matter of getting past the emotional blockage. The Ace of Swords, the truth, seeing the truth, speaking the truth, absolute mental clarity, knowing exactly where it is, where you're headed this time, where you may not have in the past. And again, that victory is still there. It's still coming through. It's just a matter of, you going in the right direction. And it's funny because, when I said before about being pulled in two different directions, you may have two different beginnings that are happening here. But we'll see if choices start to show up here. But I'm still looking at you moving quickly into a situation where there's like some pain. Your best path to follow, the Emperor. Get your shit under control. Getting control, needing to take control. Especially with the Chariot coming through. The Emperor, beyond it being Aries, you're talking about order, control, structure, and power. It's about taking a leadership position here and getting your shit under control. Like, seriously, you have the clarity that's coming through, but you got to get control over where you think you're headed. And I don't know. I feel like, for some of you, it may literally be you needing to go somewhere here to get some mental clarity, though, especially surrounding a new beginning, a new long-lasting beginning. I look at the Five of Cups and I look at the past of prison. If those emotional, those bad emotional things are dragging you down, it's holding you a prisoner. If you're staying complacent in that, it's difficult to move forward on new beginnings. They're there. It's just up to you to get over that. But that's hard as hell to do. But again, with the Emperor being there, it's saying you got to get control over this. You have to. Otherwise these two are going to dissipate because you're being complacent. That's basically it. And your environment, the Eight of Wands. So now for some of you, the communication that may be coming through is going to lead to a new beginning. The other thing though too, and it's funny because I've seen this with Sag, you acting quickly, maybe a little bit too quickly, and not really dealing with what is holding you down. Again, if you're looking at wanting to start a new beginning, but you have some emotional pain, especially attached to the past, moving quickly into a new situation may not, end up the way that you want it to, which is going right back to the Five of Cups. Those aces are still there. The clarity will come to you, but it's going to be up to you to get control. You don't want to move too quickly into a situation without having dealt with first, the shit from the past that may be still playing a big part in what you choose to do. It's difficult, but again, the aces are hopeful, but I go right back to that Emperor, especially with the Chariot being there. But again, traveling, maybe needing to do some traveling here to get some clarity over some emotional pain though too. You know what I mean? It has the potential here for there to be long-lasting results with that Ace of Pentacles for sure. But there is some emotional pain from the past that's going to have to be dealt with, and that may be what you're needing to clear up. But travel seems to be a thing too, though. Your hopes and your fears, the Seven of Pentacles, and that's good to see in terms of the clarity that you're getting, though, too. When you're looking at it as far as a fear, again, it goes back to you not seeing the results that you want to see, not getting what you feel like you deserve, and it may cause emotional pain. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, right? Reevaluating a situation. Are you seeing the results that you want to see? It's either you hoping to see the new growth that you're wanting and to continue that, or it's you needing to do something different here. Because it's saying that you're fearing that you're not going to see what you want through the efforts that you put through. But then again, it may still be there, especially with that Ace of Pentacles. I can't look past that. It's just that there are things that need to be dealt with on an emotional level. And it's you're really needing to get control over this if you're wanting to see any kind of continued growth with any new beginnings that you're looking at. Whether this has to do with relationships or work, either way, what I'm seeing is you moving quickly into a situation where you're not receiving what you should. There needs to be more in terms of that, but there's emotional pain surrounding it. And for some of you, again, it's going to go right back to whatever is in the past that's holding you back. And then the outcome, wow, the Eight of Pentacles. So, busting your ass, needing to put forth some effort here, especially if you're wanting to see any kind of change. And then, son of a bitch, the Ace of Wands. So, okay, you're going to have to start putting forth some effort, right? Especially when it comes to getting over the emotional pain. It's going to be up to you. It's up to you to decide on how you deal with this. It's still very much a factor in what is happening here. For some of you, this is something that you're going to have to communicate, especially if you're wanting, a new realistic beginning where you start to see the growth that you're wanting, but you're going to have to put in the effort. Unfortunately, it's going to be up to you. Now, when you're looking at the Hermit, you're looking at, beyond being in hermit mode here, needing to seek those deeper answers. It is about the spiritual journey, but you needing to, make the effort. Now, if you feel like you're in isolation here, or like, an unnecessary solitude, you're going to have to do something to get out of this. But again, with the Hermit being there, it's about seeking deeper answers and coming to an understanding here with the Six of Swords that there are some things that you need to move away from, which is going to go right back to that Five of Cups and having that, mental clarity surrounding what you need to do and where you need to go. It is about moving away from conflict and getting into a more calmer emotional state. But then you're looking at the Ace of Wands. So not only do you have realism, you have clarity, but then you also have passion. You have all these new beginnings that are happening for you. I'm not seeing you needing to make like any major choices here on where you're headed. I feel like with the Chariot, you know where you want to go. But it being the past coming through and you have the past a prison and looking at the Five of Cups, to me it's saying, maybe moving a little bit too quickly into a situation, not really getting what you want out of it, but, thinking a little bit more realistically here. But again, hoping to see continued growth in what it is that you want. But you got to be clear on that though too. It's not a Seven of Cups feeling. It's just between the two of them, it's needing clarity through the emotional pain. But again, it's going to be up to you to get there. Like you're going to have to put forth the effort. Do you really want to continue to put in your time and effort here into something where you're not seeing the results that you want? And that may be where the Hermit is coming through and you're really thinking about that, especially with the Six of Swords. For some of you, it could literally be you needing to just be alone, needing to take some time alone and start putting in effort toward what you're really wanting to see here, And again, it's understandable. Like I'm looking at the Eight of Wands and looking at the Ace of Pentacles. And again, with the Chariot, I'm wanting to move quickly into a new, more realistic beginning rather than dealing with the pain of the past. You have clarity ultimately coming out here, but it's going to be up to you. You got to get control. You got to get control over where you're headed, and you need to get control over the difficult emotions that may be holding you down. You don't want to stay complacent in a situation that is not fulfilling you either. Damn, Capricorn, you always do the right thing. Like no matter what, Capricorn always does the right thing coming out. Like I don't ever worry about that with Cap. You're always going to make the right choice and the right decision for you. But are you truly putting in the effort that's necessary, into what you're wanting? Or are you putting effort into something that is not fulfilling you? It's not fulfilling you. All right, Cap, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. And then love. Wow. All right, so guidance. Needing some guidance, having guidance, right? And again, knowing where the hell you're going, but it's only going to come through the third eye. The third eye is opening for some of you, and there's going to be a more clear understanding of where you need to put in your effort. My goodness. And definitely reevaluating, right? And that's where, the understanding is going to be opening up. But again, when you're looking at the third eye and you're looking at visualization on, what it is that you're wanting to see, right? You got to be clear. You got to be clear on that. But I feel like what you're wanting is love. You need love, right? Like you need to have love in your life. But that guidance is going to come through by you allowing the third eye to open. For some people, it's a bad thing. For some people, it's a good thing, especially out of extreme difficulties. But holy shit, right? That's not a joke to me. That's one of the few that I don't see very often, and it goes right back to the Hermit for me. And looking at the Ace of Swords, guidance and clarity, and it's coming through, your own third eye opening. And you're looking at love, having more love in your life and loving what you're doing. Very important, very important. Holy shit. All right, Cap. We're going to take a look at Whispers of Love to see what other messages there are for you guys for love. Wow. And needing to move into a spot where, you have that feeling of love, right? Like when love shows up beyond relationships, When we keep love in our mind and in our hearts, it is the most powerful emotion that you can emit. It makes what you're wanting to happen even faster, and it's like, that is what's going to be the boost here, especially if you're visualizing exactly what it is that you want. Have faith. No shit. Have faith. Trust your faith in the situation. And then be in the present and dream of the future. The third eye. The third eye, visualizing, right? Still be in the present moment, but think about what the future looks like for you, right? And one of the big things that they talk about, especially with the law of attraction, is that you have to look at the outcome, not how you're getting there or how it's going to happen, what it actually looks like. When we dream, everything is possible. Oh my goodness, Cap. This reading to me, I don't know what it is with Capricorn and your damn readings, but they get deep for me. But it's amazing to me. Between, this card here being the present, dreaming of the future, and looking at the third eye, and you needing to have faith in where you're headed. That guidance will come to you, and even if it means that you need to be in hermit mode for a while, again, very deeply spiritual card. But so important. It's so important to be in the present moment. You have to be in the present moment. You cannot stay stuck in the past, because the past will continue and continue and continue. If that's where your focus is continuously at, you will see the repeat of the past over and over again, right? You got to be in the present moment, but you also got to dream of the future. Amazing reading, Cap. I really hope that by the end of the week that you guys start getting a little bit of clarity on where you're heading, that you get away from the difficult situations, that you're not continuously, in solitude here, but the aces you're looking at, they're there. It's just up to you,